You're going to work them right on the little pins. All right, everybody, this is your how-to video on a J Racenstein center transmission rotary brush or the external transmission. So on your brush, you have 2 set screws that lock to the housing of your transmission. So first thing you want to do is loosen these 2 set screws, slide your transmission off of both sides. This right here has 3 little screws that holds this little outer bearing on. So first you want to undo those 3 screws, there's your outer bearing. And then on the inner gear case, you have 3 more set screws. I've already done removed 2 to show you. So when you pull these out, you have 3 set screws. So when you turn it up and you slide it off, there are your gears. So I'm going to throw these out with these gears here, and you got another set in there. So these require grease. So this brush has been used for probably 3 years. You see it's got very little grease left in there. So what I do is I get some carb cleaner, and we want to wash out all that old grease. I'm going to pull out those gears and see if this one will come out. So once you get it all sprayed, you want to clean all your gears. And I just use regular carburetor cleaner. Same thing on your outer bearing. I'm going to wash all this off. And we're going to put fresh grease in there on the seals and everything. And I'll wipe all this out. So everything's all shiny and clean. You got an O-ring right here that's got a seal. That's what keeps water out of your gear case. See the O-ring right there? So what, clean your O-ring up. And I'll put some oil back on it when we put it back in. So you can't lose all these little components. When you do it, take your time. So that's back in there. A nice little pair of needle nose pliers works great getting all these gears and everything out. And this is a key that goes back here on the back side. I'm washing all the gears, getting all the gunk out of each groove because that grease gets old. See, once you get them clean, they're all shiny and clean. But you see all this gunk that's coming out? It's a lot of black, old, thick, hard grease. So like I just did on these gears, see all the teeth right there? See how clean everything is now? You got one more piece of debris right in there. So now we got it all out. I've got a compressor, so I like to blow this out. I just dropped an O-ring. It goes on the outside. So blow out all the carburetor cleaner. And then clean your O-rings. This O-ring goes right here on your outer piece. So make sure you do not lose your O-rings. So on your gears, you'll use your needle nose pliers to put your gears back in here on these cogs. Oops. See how it sits right on there? So now that that one's in there, I have a grease gun with grease, with a little needle. So that one's in there. So this one, I'm going to knock the gears off. It's easier to put it in there, to line your gears up. So I'm going to put a little bit of grease here on this back side. And with my needle nose pliers, I can stick it down in these holes, and to line it up in there, see, it just popped right back down in place. Now it's all tied into the other gears. So these, I'm going to put a little bit of more grease on the inside. Same thing again with the gears. as you grab them, you're going to work them right on the little pins. Now they're back in there. So I'm going to put a little bit more grease on the inside, and I'm going to work it. See how the grease is mixing in on the gears? And you get your finger and rub some of that grease on this O-ring. Put a pair of gloves on. All right, this one is done. So I'm going to clean the outside of the housing to get all that old grease off of there. You see it's coming off. It's just nasty. Make sure you got all your grease off of it, because when you put the housing back on there, you got this outside seal you want to be clean as well. So all these gaskets, these O-rings, fit over your ring. So to do it properly, because this one's got a little bit of rust on it, I'm going to clean it with a grinder. You can get a little hand wire wheel. That's it. So me, the way I am, I'm going to put a little bit of grease on here to keep it from rusting. So before you put this on there, you want to put a bolt in here, and right here you see your 3 holes. So when you line it up to where that hole goes, you see it lined up. Now I'm just going to run it in a little bit. Now these two, we'll put these in here. Don't tighten them until you have them all threaded in. Snug it up. There you go. Now on this one, I'm going to put a little bit of grease on this O-ring. This will keep any water from getting inside. And this one just slides right back on the housing. So you'll find your hole, drop your bolt in there. Remember I said, do not tighten them up until you get them all started. So let's go ahead and snug them up. And that's how you grease the gears in your transmission. So you undo these 3 caps, undo the long bolts, turn it upside down, slide it off, get all the gears out. You got 2 sets of gears in there, planetary gears, and get some carb cleaner, choke cleaner, clean everything up, get all the old grease off. This is a Lucas grease. I use my little needle to squirt it in there, but this is a red and tacky grease. You get it at O'Reilly's or any of your auto parts. So this is what I put up inside the transmission. So now we'll do the other side. While you got your transmission off, this is a good time right now. Check your jet on your stem and make sure you're not plugged up. And do not put Teflon on these. Some people put Teflon on there. Hold your jet up. Like I can barely see through this jet right now. So this customer was saying that his brush wasn't spinning good. So when you hold it up, you should be able to see daylight through it. So what I'm going to do is take this jet out and we're going to clean it. This is your little jet. It comes on all your transmissions. This is a tip cleaner. So I open it up, stick it in there, and clean out the tip. I just felt a little piece of whatever debris to come out of there. And so now, when you hold it up to the daylight, see how you can see the daylight through it? Now your jet's clean. You also want to blow this out and make sure there's nothing in there. I don't see nothing in there. Yeah, it looks good. So you get your jet, screw it back in there. Gloves are a pain in the butt, they're slippery. Snug it down, and put your transmission stem back in. So this is just doing a complete overhaul on this transmission, servicing and cleaning it and putting fresh grease in there. I recommend cleaning it once a year. If you run it a lot, once every year, clean your brush and you will be good to go. Now I forgot which side I cleaned just now. Looks like this side, I see grease on there. So now you'll watch me take this side off. Grab your other bit, and there's the O-ring. The O-ring didn't come out, so put your O-ring right there. So this one's rusted up too. I'm gonna clean that one. See, rusty. Boy, that one's in there. There we go. So I'm gonna clean these bolts up before I put it back in. So turn it upside down, pull it out, and there's your gears popping out. So here's your first set of gears. With your needle nose, you can reach in here and take these out. So for you to look at them, see how black and gooey that grease is inside there? It's very dirty. So you can see how thick and gooey the grease is in there. So this is just old burnt grease. It's been run a long time, and you want to put some fresh grease in there. It's just like changing oil in your car. You got to service and change the oil. Yeah, I got to get another can of carb cleaner. See, you got carb cleaner, or you can use brake cleaner. See all that nasty grease popping off? See all that thick, gooey grease coming out right there? That is old grease. Look at all that old grease that come out. See how everything looks like brand new now? So now that I got it all blowed out. So get this side clean. See how old the grease is? Look at that, all brand new again. So the way I'm gonna do this is like I told you before. So turn your gears up so you can grab them with your needle nose. Just take your time when you put them back in there, make sure they line up properly. Put your gear on. See it slide down in there? Push it down. There you go. Now you got these in here. Turn them, let the grease get on all the teeth. Here how sticky and gooey. It's working great. So this one, I'm gonna take the gears off of this one and make sure we get all the old stuff off. Always make sure your little race is on here, which it is. I see it on here. See that right there? Make sure that's always on there. Put your little bit of grease on here. See it pop down in there? So now that's in there. Put you a little bit of grease underneath where your gears are going to go. So now those gears are in there. Mix them up a little bit, get the grease going. This brush is going to be like brand new again. So don't forget your O-ring. The O-ring goes right there. With the grease in there, stick your finger in it and make sure you get it on your O-ring. That way you got a nice, good little seal. So this one's ready to go back in. But first, I want to clean these bolts, and then I got to clean this too. So you got a seal right here. Make sure you put a little bit of grease on this seal. Put your O-ring back in there. So that one's ready to go back in. Only thing I need to do now is clean these these 3 bolts. So the gasket, the O-ring goes over this ring right here. So you want to put a little bit of grease on here. And then when you line it up, you will see how it pops right on there. So now when you put this into here, you screw it in, you find your hole. So now the other two are in there. We're going to cinch them in, snug this one up, and now it's this one's turn. So see how smooth it goes on there? Let's see where the holes are at, right there. So now you snug them. And guys, that is how you service a transmission that you need to do it annually. Remember which way you took your brush off and what side of the transmission it was on? Because you want your hose to line up straight. I push it in, and then you tighten this down on your transmission. Now I'll line this one up right there where the brushes touch center. And guess what? Now it's time to test it. So Terry's probably a roof cleaner. I think you had it on here this way. Now I can get all these gloves off, bring a table out, and we're going to show you how this thing works. See that rust that come out? You always want to blow out your pole before you hook it to your brush. So that's just a prime example. That's why I tell everybody, before you hook your pole to your brush, fire up your pressure washer and flush your pole out. Because you never know what might be in there. If you don't do it, guess what it's going to do? It's going to plug up your jets. Well, that ain't good. Why is it not spinning? Let me take the brushes off and see.
Even after cleaning the brush, you can still see we are having problems. This goes to show that even when you clean your brush, you can still have an issue without understanding why.
So right now, that's why we tell you always flush your brush out. I did that, but look what still come through there. I don't know where this plastic come, but it was stuck in the jet. That's why the brush wouldn't spin. So now I'm gonna put the stem back in there, and we'll be good to go now.
It's not tank plastic. It's hard.
I don't know where it come from.
I don't know. It's not from the valves because the valves are black. No, these valves are white. The way this machine works.
That's just troubleshooting 101. I mean, you know, people call me, Mark, my brush is not spinning. So I show them videos how to do this, but this is something that everybody has got to learn how to do. When you're out here in the field and you're cleaning, you got to know how to take care of your equipment, because you don't always have Mark to call and say, hey Mark, how do I fix this? Well, I'm showing you how you fix it right now. Holy moly. This thing is screaming. This customer is going to love his brush. So this is a done deal. So that's how you do this. So you've seen how I refurbished the grease and the gears. So we got that clean, got the jet cleaned out. Now this brush is screaming again. So Terry, your brush is ready for pickup.